Our first keynote speaker, Heather Fahnestock. Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a huge round of applause for our keynote speaker? She is a pioneer in education dedicated to transforming of how we learn, teach, and prepare for the future. Over to you, and thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you so much. Let me start with a confession. I am one of those people that has asked the question why as a student. I still do. You know what I mean? Like, why am I learning this? And why does this matter? Or, when am I ever going to use this in the real world? Have you ever heard a student or yourself done something just like that? Raise your hand. Yeah. Honestly, I don't think that's a bad thing. That question, why, is one of the most human things we can ask. It's curiosity in its purest form. But here's the problem. When our students, or even our employees in a training session ask why, it's usually not because they're inspired. It's probably because they're disengaged. Holistic education, I have found, is an answer to that problem. All right, so now, what is holistic education? You might be thinking, I don't know, maybe yoga in an algebra class or something like that. No, it's not even about adding fluff. It's not about making it easier. Holistic education is about seeing the learner as a whole person. Their mind, their heart, their body, creativity, and purpose. It says, this is not just a brain sitting in a chair. This is a person with a story, with potential, with struggles and strengths. It's an approach that takes the content we teach and asks, how can this connect to real life? How can this matter beyond the test? And how can this shape who a person becomes and not just what they know? Well, let me tell you a story of why this kind of came to be. I had a high school student, I'm gonna call him Alex. He was sitting in the classroom and always falling asleep. And at first, as an educator and even an employer, you might think, oh, he's unmotivated or lazy. But then I asked the question, why? Why was he tired, or why was he late? And eventually I found out that Alex was staying up late, his parents worked nights, and he was up with his baby sister. So my approach to him had to change. I no longer I had to switch it up, and suddenly he became empowered. Holistic education began with that question of why. It didn't just ask about the content we're teaching, it asks about the learner. It asks us to see what's behind the behavior, behind the blank stares, and behind the disengagement. When we teach the whole person, we can turn that sleepy student into someone who feels seen, supported, and capable of learning. So this isn't just about a K through 12 classroom, about taking a math curriculum for a middle school student and turning it into a TikTok trend. It could be for a college student, tying that general education class into a real-world challenge, maybe climate change, mental health, or becoming an entrepreneur. It's also for a professional in a workplace. It might mean turning that annual compliance training away from a click through a slideshow into a conversation about a real situation that you may have. Holistic education works at every stage of life because it meets the learner where they are. If you know anything about it or read anything about holistic education, it typically comes in 6 layers. And I find the very first one, social and emotional development, to be probably one of the most important. It's also one of the most up and coming, to be social and emotional, intelligent and aware. We need to teach people to understand their emotions, build empathy, and learn to set healthy boundaries. The second layer is about relationships. We don't have anything if we don't have trust. This is a trust between a teacher and a student, maybe a trainee and a trainer, a peer-to-peer, or an employer and employee. Third layer, and is of course, anything, and when we're talking about education, is the academics itself, but showing learners where this actually applies outside of a classroom or an office. Number 4, turning that academic setting into a project-based learning environment. making it hands-on, making it applicable, getting them engaged, letting people do something with what they've learned. Number 5, cultivating citizenship, helping learners understand their place in the world and how they can contribute, whether through philanthropy or anything else. And last, when you have all of those components, that 6th layer is empowerment. It's giving ownership of their learning to a person so that they feel confident, capable, and curious. When we get all 6 layers working together, something shifts. Learning becomes meaningful. There's a funny story about adults. Just had a conversation with one of my colleagues the other day who's working on a master's degree. He's no different than the kids, talking about a mandatory training. And he said, I think I could have checked my email instead. We've probably all done that. But if holistic education can work for the 6th grader, it could also work for that adult. He wanted to have purpose. We all want to feel like our time is worth something. So imagine if every student, every college learner, every employee could say, I understand why I'm learning this. I know how it connects to my goals, my life, and my future. Imagine how much more engaged, motivated, and confident they would be. So in closing, holistic education is more than a teaching strategy. It's a philosophy. It's a way of saying, I see you, I value all of you, and I believe that what we're doing together matters. When we commit to teaching and learning in this way, we do more to prepare people than pass tests. We prepare them to be critical thinkers. We prepare them to face life with resilience, to be curious, and have purpose. So here's my challenge for you. Be the teacher, the professor, or the trainer who asks why. Not just about the curriculum or what you're trying to teach, but about the learner, about the other person. See the whole person, teach to the whole person, talk to the whole person, and learn as a whole person. Because when we do, we stop just producing graduates or employees. We start building humans who are ready to thrive in school, in work, and in life. So thank you.